Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night. Whenever you tune in and see this, sorry, I'm just adjusting a little bit so you can see the table as much as you can. So yes, this is going to be a general reading for water sign Scorpio, the scorpion, right? And so a general reading can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. And it is also a timeless reading. So, for instance, for some of you guys, it could resonate, let's say, 6 months in the past, 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future. Take it how it resonates, right? But time is fluid and relative. So, it could still have an important message to be watched in the past or watched in the future beyond the official title that says November 24th through January 2nd. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. And what else we were going to talk about before we get into your reading here? I'm just moving all of your cards down a little bit, just because they were all kind of really close to this end, and the camera's kind of closer to this end. So I didn't even think about that. Okay. Also wanted to say that let me stop and look at you guys, sorry, that this reading may resonate for you even if you are not a sun, rising, moon, or Venus Scorpio, as we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each of our individual birth charts. So you may still find something of something that you can relate to, okay, in this message. And also, I always encourage everyone to, find out what their other placements are, right? Because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, with your rising sign, or your moon sign, okay? Or all of them, right? So it's just kind of good to find out. So even if you don't have your exact birth time, you can just Google and do a basic birth chart, okay? So knowledge is power, yes. um, so we're going to get into your reading here and do a little sound bell for some grounding and healing for the reading, and then we'll kind of go over how we're going to do the cards and all of that good stuff. Okay. Also wanted to say happy holidays for people who've already maybe celebrated some winter holidays or just holidays during this time period, or if yours is yet to come up, but will be during or before January 2nd. Happy holidays. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and do a little sound bell here. I finally took it out of one of my boxes since I moved. And yeah, so just be aware that if you are listening with headphones, sometimes it does get loud. So just be aware. And if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen to. All right. Scorpio. All right. So I'll put this over here. Since I moved the table stuff over, it's a little quiet, so I'm in here right now. All right. So we're going to start with your first group of cards here. The first 3 weeks, or the first 3 rows here in the center. So we're going back a little bit in time to the week of November 24th or so. That's going to be that first row here, okay? And we will also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. I'm using 2 different decks. And then also we have some confirmation cards, and then we have at the very end some oracle cards too. So let's go ahead and call out your cards here, Scorpio, and then go in order. Keep hitting that. I'm going to put this somewhere. Sorry, guys. Just put it right there for now. I keep hitting it with my arm. Okay. So we've got the 8 of Swords in the right side up position here. We have 3 of Staves or 3 of Wands right side up. The Emperor in reverse. 10 of Cups right side up. 2 of Swords right side up. Ace of Swords right side up. 7 of Cups right side up. The Tower right side up. And Queen of Staves, also known as Queen of Wands, right side up. All right. Now, I also wanted to say here, Scorpio, that if when you start watching this reading, if it doesn't resonate for your particular story, okay, it's not necessarily just about you. It could be about a person you're dealing with, or multiple people that you're dealing with, or you're just your general environment kind of situation. So always keep that in mind too. All right. So I said this first row here was around November 24th, a little bit before, a little bit after, not exact. But we kind of start off your reading with a little bit of some worry and anxiety here, or being too much up in your head, or letting your emotions kind of not have you thinking clearly than you normally would. Okay, and again, if it's not you, it could be other person or environment. All right, but that's because we start off your reading here with the 8 of Swords in the right side up position. Now, this could also be energy from the recent past that's still lingering around the week of November 24th or so. And what is the recent past? Since it is a general reading, it'll be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, but you see this Japanese woman here, and she's fanning herself, but all of the swords are going down. Okay, and there is some water behind her. Okay, so this is again just about having some type of mental confusion, anxiety, or worry, or the emotions are making it worse, right? Since the water represents our emotions. Okay, but it doesn't last long because you still have some really great cards here coming out. Let me just turn that down for a second. I have music on for the dogs so they don't bark. But then we have the commercials of the music. So that's why I turn it down sometimes. Anyway, before we go to your second card here, I actually want to talk about, because it relates to all of your cards here in the first group of cards, the first 9 cards, okay? What's on the top and the bottom of this other deck here? This is the one with the yellow border, the Llewellyn deck, okay? And this is energy from the past, like the way, way back past. Not the recent past that we were talking about, but further back past that, okay? So anyway, on top of the deck, you have the Ace of Wands in the right side up position, and then on the bottom of the deck here, you have the Page of Swords in the right side up position here as well. I feel like I'm sitting too far away. Okay, that's a little better. And so this is basically saying here, Scorpio, that in the recent, in the way, way back past, there could have been a lot of creativity, passion, fiery energy here with the Ace of Wands, gifts from the divine, talents, along with that creativity and growth and prosperity in some way, a lot of abundance, okay? Also, when we talk about wands, they can be seen as a phallic symbol, right? So if you are a woman and you're wanting to have a baby in the way, way back past, maybe you're extra fertile then, or if it's not that, it's just the general metaphor for birthing a new project, a new relationship idea, etc. Okay, but when it's with the Page of Swords too, the page is a communication card. It is a small communication, like a text message or an email, let's say, as an example, if it's from another person or from you to someone, or a small communication from the universe, from your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, whatever you believe in, or maybe you don't believe in that, but when it's paired, these two cards are paired together, it's like the Ace of Wands here with the Page of Swords is like there could have been some type of communication that was really passionate, that was kind of sparking a new beginning, a new phase, a new project, a new relationship here, okay? So this is kind of just this way, way back past information that is impacting which cards came out here. So if we need to refer to it later, we will, but I just wanted to, briefly talk about that as we go forward. So, maybe when we started with your first card here, the Eight of Swords, and all this mental confusion, anxiety, worry, overthinking, and maybe emotions being all over the place and not thinking clearly, maybe it has something to do with the past where there was some type of communication that was really creative or passionate or sparked a new beginning, a new phase, relationship, etc. Okay? So now going back forward in time, okay, we have your second card, the Three of Staves in the right side up position. So this is a nice energy about coming back into circulation with something, okay? Excuse me. So it's not like a go, go, go card per se, but it's, okay, I'm ready to slowly get back into the world. So you see this Egyptian couple, and they're stepping off of this boat off of the Nile River, and they're kind of looking up, and they're bringing a gift, and they're going to some kind of party here. Okay, so it's about resurfacing. Oh, and that's never happened before. Sorry about that. Resurface. I'm like throwing cards now, and so. When this Three of Staves, or also known as Three of Wands, is following the Eight of Swords, it's like maybe now that we're talking about the middle of the week of November 24th, you are able to get back into circulation in some way, or start socializing again, or if this is not you, could be the other person, or most people, general environment situation here. But it is kind of like, maybe now it also signifies that you are starting to have more mental clarity. You're starting to channel your emotions in a more balanced way as well here. Okay. All right. Now let me stop throwing cards in your face. Going forward here, Scorpio, your third card here is the Emperor in the reverse position, and it's a little bit of some Aries energy. Let's do that actually right now too. I'll go ahead and call out the zodiac signs that I see, okay, in your reading here for some people who are looking into that. And then we'll go back to where we were talking about the Emperor in the reverse. So I'm just going to call out the major arcanas. So we have the Emperor, right, is Aries energy, just mentioned. We have the Tower, which is Scorpio energy. We have the Hanged Man, which is Pisces energy. We have Judgment, which is Virgo, and a little bit of Libra energy, depending on how you view it. We have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. And we have Libra again. So we have Aries, just to backtrack, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Libra twice, and Virgo. Okay, so that could be that you are dealing with some of those signs, or one of those signs, or some of them, or none of them at all. Or it could be that you have some of those placements heavily in your birth chart, or the person you're dealing with, or multiple people, or again, it means nothing at all. But I wanted to mention it before we go forward. And I forgot to set my timer too, so there we go. All right, so going back to the Emperor in the reverse position here. Not sure what happens to the music. There we go. So with the Emperor in the reverse position, kind of following the Three of Staves here, this is kind of talking about that there could be, in this resurfacing energy and starting to socialize again, or finding more mental clarity and slowly getting back out there in some way, there could be a little bit of this energy of having a harder time, let's say perhaps balancing the masculine and feminine energies, okay? It could also be that you're having a hard time seeing something from a larger perspective still, okay? Because maybe you're still clearing that Eight of Swords energy as well, okay, with the Emperor in the reverse position. Because normally when he's right side up, he's got this bird here on the throne with him that's able to see things from a higher perspective. So maybe that's something that you are lacking here, or the other person, or multiple people, general environment situation, okay? Or it could also be that you're having a hard time stepping into some leadership roles or stepping into your own power. It could also be you're not feeling support around you, but I don't feel like it's that last one so much because you are being invited to parties, right? It's a metaphor, right? Not necessarily. I mean, maybe you are, maybe you aren't, right? But I feel it's more about the masculine and feminine energies, and more about seeing something from a larger perspective, being able to see all the different point of views, everybody who's involved angle, not just like a one-sided kind of vision. So that's something that could really help you at this point towards the end of this first week here that we're talking about for November 24th or so. Okay. But then it starts to pick up again and have some more forward momentum and lighter positive energy here, Scorpio, because your fourth card is the Ten of Cups in the right side up position. Dun, da, da. Yes, very nice. So this is about celebrations, okay, celebratory energy. And it's also could be more about the metaphor of the cups in the tarot, which represents emotional contentment, emotional fulfillment, okay, all those things, emotional boundaries, priorities. So it's like you here might be more clear about what makes you happy, about what you want and what you don't want, or the other person's maybe starts to get more clear, or both of you, or vice versa, whatever it is, okay? But it also could be about some leveling up. So when it's following the Emperor in reverse, and I was saying that maybe you're not ready to step into your power all the way or see things from a larger perspective. But then here we have the Ten of Cups, and 10 is the completion number in tarot. So it could be that now you're ready to start seeing things from a larger perspective, like a king would, and all the different angles and pieces, okay? But either way, however you find yourself with this one particular card, it's some really nice energy here. And this second row, I forgot to say, this is the week of November 29th or so, a little bit before, a little bit after, right? It's not exact. Okay. Now, going forward, after we finish with the 10 of Cups right side up, your fifth card here is the Two of Swords in the right side up position. All right. So this is a slowing down of energy and really wanting to integrate your heart chakra with your intellect and your mind, okay, before making a next decision or move. So it's a more passive energy, but it's still obviously important and maybe doesn't feel less intense necessarily, but it's not like a go, go, go energy like the Ten of Cups that you just had, okay? So you see this Japanese woman here, and she's got her back to us, but normally she's blindfolded and she's holding two swords crossing her arms. And so it's about not using your eyes, less, that could be representative of your mind, right? But using your heart, and then using both of them together, okay? Now, it seems like this Two of Swords energy is really beneficial here for you here, Scorpio, or for another person, or multiple people, general environment situation, because you go from the Two of Swords to the Ace of Swords, all right? And so when you notice too that both of these cards, the swords are in the upright position in the card, okay? And the card itself is upright position too. But that's the mental clarity, okay? This is being mentally clear, mentally balanced, and all of those things, okay? And with the Ace of Swords coming in, it's like having the ability to cut through any distractions, any bullshit, part the clouds with your sword, okay, with your mind, all right? But it is for momentum again and positive energy, so really nice. And that could be towards the end of the week of November 29th or so, okay? Now, going forward here, Scorpio, I saw this next card a couple of times in both the decks when I was shuffling for you, and then it decided to come out, and it always makes me laugh when that happens, because it's like, I'm just going to peek at you, but I'm not sure, and then it does come out, not every reading, of course, but every once in a while. So this Seven of Cups, and before we get into this row, this is the week of December 6th. Yes. Okay. And And so this Seven of Cups, when it shows up here on the week of December 6th, it's like, okay, I've had this newfound mental clarity from that Ace of Swords we just talked about. But I have all these options and I'm not sure which option to make yet, okay, which choice. Because you see this king looking into all these cups, and if you look really closely, there's different things in every cup, and Morgana is showing him what he could have, right? And so, this is talking about also, window shopping for the soul, dark night of the soul. So even though there's a lot of options and there's an excitement to that, it's also like learning to use your intuition, the dark night of the soul. That's what they call it that for a reason, because it's not always fun. It's like a limbo kind of time period for some. And I don't even know, I'm trying to think of another way to describe it, but yeah, it's really soul searching, and maybe going through some challenging times. But yeah, that's the best way I can describe it, okay? Before making a decision, right? Because at this point, at the beginning of this week, someone here hasn't made a decision yet, okay? But then, haha, here we come. I don't know why I'm laughing, sorry. That's just my sense of humor. Here comes your eighth card, the Tower, in the right side up position. So whether you're ready to make a decision or they're not maybe ready to make a decision, the universe is going to come in and make a decision for somebody. Or if they're not necessarily making the decision, I didn't mean it like that. It's more about some type of dramatic change is going to happen, a small change or a big change. It depends on every person, okay? But this is the universe, the hand of the divine, let's say, coming in and, shaking things up. And it could be really surprising or shocking, right? With the lightning hitting the top of the tower, and that represents your crown chakra. So this could be spiritual downloads. It could be all of a sudden you get more information about those cups you weren't sure which one to take, or you're getting, what did I say? Spiritual downloads, revelations, aha moments, more information, whatever it is, right? And so that comes with that kind of like shocking kind of change moment here. And that could be in the middle of that week of December 6th, right? But it looks like whatever it is, whatever this change is for you here, Scorpio, or the person you're dealing with, right, etc. It looks like it comes out in a pretty positive place in the next couple of days following it, okay? Because you have the Queen of Staves in the right side up position, okay? And she looks very confident, right? She's in control of her emotions with the water of the Nile River in the background, okay? Excuse me. She has her eyes closed. She's looking down. She still looks pretty fairly young, right? But she's like, I'm trying to think of the right word, but not just confident, but it's like almost like a like I nah, that's not the right way. It's almost like she feels very supportive. Okay, so when you think about that's what I've been trying to say with this card for a while now, even in other readings. It's like her eyes are closed, right? She's a queen, but she knows that like she has a security guard or a bodyguard or multiple people looking out for her. So not only is she in this meditative pose and this confident pose, but it's like she has the ability to do that because somebody else, she doesn't always have to be watching her own back here, okay? But I don't always feel that in every reading, but I felt it particularly here in your reading today, and that's why I was able to finally verbalize it, okay? But on that note, before we go into your second group of cards here, I want to talk to you about your confirmation card down here. And sorry, let me just have the music there. So this one first confirmation card we're going to talk about is confirming all of your first 9 cards here in the center, okay? And what we have is the Hanged Man in the reverse position here for you, okay? And that is that Pisces energy that I mentioned when we were talking about the different zodiac signs, okay? But the thing to note is that it is in reverse here. So what does that mean? So it means that in this first 3 weeks from November 23rd or so, to the end of the week of December 6th. So what would that be? November 23rd to December 12th or so. Okay. There is a need for much more grounding work. Okay. What does it mean to be grounded? To take care of your mind, body, spirit connection, get enough sleep, eat good foods, take care of your spiritual and your mental health as well. Okay. And also, when we put it together, even just with one card, but we're confirming 9 cards, right? When we put it together with the Emperor in reverse, that we talked about earlier, about not being able to see things from a larger perspective in that first week here. Well, what is the Hanged Man all about when it's normally right side up? Is being able to hang upside down and see things from another perspective. So it's kind of confirming that again, that could have been a particular theme here going on for you during this first 3 weeks, okay? So needing to ground more and needing to be open to different perspectives and see things from all the angles and everyone's point of view, okay? Being objective as possible. That's kind of what I would say. All right, now going forward, let's get into your second group of cards here. I'll go ahead and call them out and then we will go in order. So we have the 3 of Cups in the right side up position, the 2 of Cups in the reverse, the 4 of Sacred Circles or 4 of Pentacles right side up, the Lovers in reverse, the 8 of Cups right side up, the 5 of Sacred Circles or 5 of Pentacles right side up, and the 2 of Staves, also known as 2 of Wands right side up, the King of Cups in reverse, and the 5 of Staves are also known as 5 of Wands right side up. Okay, so I would say right off the bat, right, that these first 4 cards here are really similar to the Libra reading I just did earlier. They weren't in the same order, in the same placement, but after what I'm about to tell you, if that resonates, I would check out the Libra reading too, because there could be something going on. Since remember, I did say you have 2 Libra cards here, 2 Libra zodiac signs that are shown in your reading. So it could be that you are dealing with a Libra here, Scorpio, or you have a lot of Libra in your chart, or the other person does, or multiple people, general environment situation. Okay. All right. So going forward here, let's say what week we're in now too. This 4th row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is the week of December 13th. So last week, if you're watching this reading currently, okay. We start off with the 3 of Cups in the right side up position. So this is very celebratory, fun, party energy, supportive energy. And you see this king here, and he is looking at I think this is his children, or it's a couple. I can't remember now all the different stories. But yeah, whatever it is. Okay. They are all kind of cheersing each other and celebrating something with all their cups. They have all their emotions right side up, meaning they are emotionally content and happy and feeling good to be together for the majority of you, okay? And then there's another side where this could be a little bit of some third party kind of situation energy. So what's a third party? It could be that the person that you're dealing with is dealing with another person that is influencing or affecting your relationship with them in some way. So it doesn't always mean, let's say if it's a romantic situation, it doesn't always mean that the other person is cheating, but it could be that they're a workaholic, or they have some sort of other addictions, or there's a family member or friend that's influencing them in some way, and it's affecting your relationship with that person, okay? But, like I always say, you have to take it how it resonates for you, since it is a general reading. But, going forward, it's like, if this is a third party situation, which actually at first I thought it was only a couple of you Now it feels more like it could be more than that. I can't remember what the Libra reading had about it. I think the Libra reading was slightly different with these four cards that we were talking about here. But anyway, you're like, I don't care about Libra, Scorpio, if that's how you feel. But your next card, your 11th card, is the Two of Cups in reverse. So you go from the Three of Cups right side up that we just talked about to now the Two of Cups in reverse. So this is a little bit of um, talking about a union, whether it's romantic partnership with friends or family, whatever it may be. It's more of the lower vibrational frequencies for some. Normally, it would be higher vibrational frequencies when it's right side up, but here it's like um, not looking out for each other's best interest, or there's not an equal give and take in some way, or somebody or both parties are not emotionally content or happy because their cups are reversed. Okay. Um, and I feel that there could be one person or one party member, right, that is being very controlling, um, being possibly manipulative in some way, with the Four of Sacred Circles coming out as your 13th card, or Four of Pentacles right side up. Okay. So that was the same thing that I was kind of talking about briefly in the Libra reading, where the smoke in the Native American culture is about communication. So they would sit down at a table or wherever, sit down on the floor, and they'd smoke a pipe, and it was called the peace pipe, and they'd talk and try to work things out and get to a peaceful place. But here with this card, and the way that it's shown, is another Native American smoking, but there's almost like shapes that you kind of see in the smoke. And so then I thought about, well, like vaping videos, right, to like current times, or even hookah videos in the past, right? It's like you have to control the shapes to show that you're like an advanced smoker or something like that, right? But it's like a little bit of that controlling, manipulative energy. So maybe it's not done with like an ill intention with whoever this person that you're dealing with, or multiple people, or work environment, whatever friends or family it is. But it is like maybe they're doing it out of coming from a place of fear, or they think that they're lacking, or it's their own self-esteem here going on. Okay. But it is affecting the partnership, and it is bringing the vibe down. Okay, because your next card is the Lovers in reverse, and that's a little bit of that Gemini energy I mentioned before too. So here, and this is your first card in the fifth row, which is December 20th, the week that we're currently in now, depending on when you're watching. Is just kind of saying that, yeah, like this controlling, manipulative energy, even if they're not aware of it, or they're not doing it to be mean, or have ill intentions, that it is bringing the vibe down, and it's making this relationship not equal anymore. So somebody could be giving too much, or somebody's not giving enough, okay, or vice versa, whatever it may be. Now, moving forward into your, where are we at? Sorry, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th card. Somebody might be leaving because of all of this hurt feelings and drama, and the relationship is suffering in some way, because you have the Eight of Cups in the right side up position. Someone maybe you said they're just temporarily leaving, but somebody's going to walk away. Okay. And it's like they need to figure out their emotions, right? All the cups are right side up, and you see this figure, this cloaked person, and they're going to go off on their own, whether it's good or bad. They are going to take a break. They need a break. Okay, somebody here needs a break, or maybe it's both of you, or multiple people, a party, or general environment situation. But it seems like it is for the best, or however long this break is, because it leads to more introspection, definitely, at least on one person or one party's side, okay? Because the next card, your 15th card, is the Five of Sacred Circles or Five of Pentacles right side up. So it kind of leads to this introspection energy to find the answers within, okay? To kind of step away from social situations in some way and kind of go within. And you see these two Native American women. One is opening the hut for the other to come out, and she's wearing a headdress, and she's almost like a shaman, like a medicine woman figure. Okay, so it's really about asking those important questions, and if it's not necessarily like a spiritual retreat, it could just be a retreat in general, right? Like two cards both saying a retreat, a walking away, a slowing down of energy, being on your own, okay, to kind of figure things out. And that is, more towards the end of this weekend, right? So that would be, what's today? The 23rd, the 26th, right? Is that? I don't know. Anyway, the dates aren't exact and it's not necessarily as important, okay? But it does. I would watch the Libra reading if you're resonating with this so far. I would definitely watch the Libra reading because there's just like some parallels here. Not all, but some for sure. Now going forward into the last week that we're talking about next week, the last week of December and the first week or so of January. Okay, there is a continued energy with the Two of Staves in the right side up position here. To have the continued energy of stepping away, slowing down, not being as social as normal, right? Because here you see the back of this Egyptian woman's head, and she's lounging here looking at the Nile River. She's watching the little boats and ships go by. So it's about people watching. It's about seeing how other people may go through similar situations or circumstances, or even just a distraction from your own drama or their drama or everybody's drama, right? Whatever it is here, okay? So it's not necessarily a good or bad card. It's just more of going within and slowing down, okay? Now going forward, well, I'm trying to actually decide when to talk about this thing. Well, I don't know. I'll talk about it at the very, very end. Yeah. One thing is interesting. You don't have any repeating cards here, Scorpio, which seems to be in all the other readings. There's at least one or two or three or more, and you don't have any. So that's interesting. Just something to note here. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, so we'll go forward like I was, and then I'll talk about what's on the top and the bottom here, too, of the other deck. But yes, so we're going from, sorry, got a little like, okay. The Two of Staves, right, in the right side up position. So going within, taking a social break, whether it's good or bad, doing some people watching, having some distractions, resting too, okay. From that energy, the beginning of the last week of December to your 17th tarot card is the King of Cups in the reverse position. So here we have this feeling of maybe you're not all the way happy yet, or content about something, or you're not feeling fully supported yet, or you're still trying to figure out your own emotions. Because with this king, one thing to note is he does have a book in his other arm that's not holding the cup, right? So maybe he's writing down his feeling, his thoughts, okay? But here it's in reverse. So it's a disconnect to somebody's emotions here, or everybody's, right? But it also is like that feeling of lack of support, or not feeling all the way in your power. So I was just looking at it as a little bit of a blockage or challenge or reminder in the middle of next week here, okay? But you still have some other really good cards, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Now, moving forward, your 18th card, your last card in the main center, is the Five of Staves in the right side up position. And this card did kind of poke its head out a couple of times when I was shuffling, and then it finally came out at the very end. Okay, also known as Five of Wands, right side up. So this is an energy, a nice welcoming energy of relying on your support system, whatever it may be, friends, family, mental health care worker, lovers, partners, everything or none of it, whatever, but hopefully not none, but something, okay, right? Somebody out there loves you, wants to support you, okay? So when this energy comes in, it also is talking about maybe not taking life as seriously. So your friends want to come in and maybe help you make things a little bit more easier, crack some jokes, do something you all enjoy, whatever it is, right? But also, it's like they want you to play and practice and plan for the future, but make it more loose, not be as stern and set in your ways, right? Because we never know exactly how things will plan out or pan out. So it's best to have a couple different options about how things may go down. Okay, and you see that here with this Egyptian scene of like these kind of four architect guys, right? About how where they're gonna put the pyramid, and they're planning. And this guy's like, let's put it over here. And he's like, what about over here? He's like, what if we do both and then we add another one? And like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's that kind of playful energy too that is really definitely needed here for you. And that could be like a nice energy for sure to end, one calendar year and kind of start the new year off with. Okay, I definitely would welcome that if it was somebody was telling me that. Okay, now I also want to talk about your confirmation card here, and then what's on the top and the bottom. So let's go. Yeah, let's go back to the past, and then we'll go back to the future. Okay. Back to reality, yes. So this is what's on the top and the bottom of the main deck here, the ancestral path that we're using in the center. This is way, way back past energy. So what was on the top of the deck is the Judgment in the reverse position, a little bit of that Libra and Virgo energy, depending on who you ask, right? And then the Three of Swords in the right side up position was on the bottom of the deck here. So this is basically showing us here, Scorpio, that in the past, there could have been something that wasn't judged correctly or fairly in your mind or the other person's mind or multiple people's minds, general environment situation. And because it wasn't judged correctly or fairly or in your favor or their favor, it led to some pain, some heartache, some mental confusion, some low vibrational frequencies, and just some exhaustion, okay, with Three of Swords in the right side up position here, okay? Now, for a small number of people, it could also be that if there was a judgment, right, that was made or passed, sorry, my nose is itching me really right now a lot, that, it was, I lost my train of thought, damn it. I need more coffee. It's going to come back to me. Just give me a second. What was I going to say? Something about, oh, okay. I think that's what I was going to say. When we talk about a judgment not going according to the way you think it's going to go, right? You could talk about, of course, a court case or something to do with the law, but those are just examples. It doesn't have to be. But if there was any self-destructive energy in the past for you yourself, Scorpio, or another, or the other person you're dealing with, right? That it seems like maybe they decided to stop that, or you did, or everybody, the general environment situation, and then you thought things would get lighter, but maybe they didn't necessarily get lighter right away, because there were still those feelings of hurt and heartache and mental confusion and being exhausted and having low vibrational frequencies. Because a lot of times when people do hurt themselves, right, we're talking about self-destructive energy with this woman at the bottom, or not the bottom, but this woman in the judgment card in this deck in the right side up, she's up here punching the mirror, her own image. So most of the time when people do self-destructive things, it's because they're angry. Why are they angry? Because deep down they're hurt. Why are they hurt? Because they have some type of heartache, pain, betrayal, okay, that kind of energy. So this is that way back past energy. So what's the way back past? Again, it could be a couple of days ago, months, weeks, years, etc. Okay, but this is kind of that energy we just spoke of, is why these cards came out the way that they do, or the way that they did. I'm sorry, the way that they do, the way that they did. Okay, and so now moving forward back into your confirmation card here, this is the Justice card, okay? Judgment and Justice, they're different cards, but they're very kind of similar energy, and they both are Libra energy I mentioned earlier, okay? One is past energy, and one is more future current energies of the last 3 weeks of December and first week of January. But this is basically saying, I feel for you here, Scorpio, there was a past judgment that didn't go through the way you wanted, or something was judged incorrectly, right? Here in the present, things will be more balanced. That Libra energy will come in, and luck will be on your side, okay? It may have something to do with, again, that misaligned partnership that we talked about earlier, whether it's romantic, platonic, work partnership, all that stuff, friends, family. But I also feel that whatever this judgment that went wrongly in the past, and now it's coming back around again, that it'll really be brought to more mental clarity and make more sense to you because of your support system here, okay? Because remember, that was your last card, all right? The Five of Staves in the right side up position. Now look at the Justice woman. She's holding the balance scales, but also her sword is in the right side up position, so it's that mental clarity, okay? So, yeah, I feel like your friends might come, to your family members, to whoever is your support system here, Scorpio, and help you make sense of this new justice that could be brought to an old situation that wasn't balanced before, it wasn't judged correctly, maybe on both sides or just one. And this will make you feel more support and have you get your emotions in a better place. Because if you just look at it too like this, right, the King of Cups in the reverse here, like not feeling supported. I don't know how to write my feelings down in my notebook. My cup is reversed. Oh no, all the wine is falling out. And then here it's like your friends coming in and helping you deal with this justice and things being brought to justice. Your emotions being brought to justice. Their emotions being brought to justice. More mental clarity in general, okay? However that resonates for you. So that is what I have for you here, Scorpio, as far as your tarot. But before you go, I do have a couple oracle cards as well. So your love oracle message, whether romantic love or platonic love with friends or family or self-love or all of those, your message is worth waiting for. And it says divine timing is at work in your love life. Right. And also divine timing is at work with your relationships with friends and family. And maybe you have to work at it and wait a little bit, but it's saying that the wait is worth it, right? And the same thing for self-love. It takes time, but it's worth it. All right. Now moving forward, your second and last oracle card, and forgive me if I mess up the name. It's really badass looking. It's like this human skull here with a flower behind it and some paint. And I don't know, it looks kind of scary, but also really cool. Okay. And this is Baha Baha Ravani Yogani. Baha Ravani Yogani. I think that's how you say that. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about it real quickly with the book. And this is my new oracle deck that I love that my dear friend got for me. This is the Kalima oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. Okay. So this is talking about what here? Let's see. And turn that down. Okay. It says, Sublime Bharavani is fierce with sacred rage, right? Cannot be deceived nor deterred. She is unflinching, fearless, and determined. She causes that which is unworthy of the soul to flee and secures divine protection for the authentic soul path. Her presence empowers our hearts to face our fears and signifies that we are ready to overcome anything that has held us back. She gives us the power to fulfill our heart's desires and reminds us to embrace our unique path with confidence. The six of the Mahaveta's wisdom goddesses is Bravana. How did I say it? Bharavani. She is the wrathful incarnation or implication of Kalima and the conqueror of fear. Her name means both formidable and terrifying. Right? I said it looked a little scary, but I liked it. Why would we be afraid of our beloved divine mother? We can recognize that she is fearsome in the sense of divine hold on. We can recognize that she is fearsome in the sense of divine magnificence. I can't talk today. Sorry, guys. Magnificence and aspiring awe. Like a force of nature, powerful enough to rattle our inflated sense of entitlement and invincibility, she becomes something that we can revere because we recognize with a relief a power so much greater than the small-minded workings of just the ego. We can dedicate ourselves to elevating the suffering we see in the world if that is what motivates our hearts. Yet we can also take refuge from becoming disheartened by the intent of our task because we recognize divine greatness and capacity. Okay, let's see what else. She is the light of sacred fire and higher awareness, or Tejavas in Sanskrit. Okay. Bhavarani is considered to be the latent energies that exist within the mudra or base chakra. Oh, okay. That is the foundation upon which the body, earthly life, and soul purposes arises in the world. Interesting. Okay, and real quickly, we'll do the little prayer here, and then I'll let you guys go. It says, Yoni Queen Bharavi, unifying spirit and form, bringing sacred inner desires to material fruition, bringing sacred inner desires to material fruition for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I bow with respect. You who are Bhavarani, wrathful mother, conquering fear and confusion, manifesting the power of Kali, blocking the workings of black magic and ill effects of planetary forces, offering protection from curses and cure against disillusion. You bring boons, blessings, abundance, and empowerment for the fulfillment of desires and the increase of comfort. Remedy against disease and despair. You are restoration. All this you accomplish to manifest spiritual enlightenment for all beings. I let go of my fear and I open my arms to your love for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Ja Ma Kali Vahavarani Ja Ma Kali. Okay. Wow, that was pretty beautiful. I liked the part about, well, I liked all of it, of course, but I liked the part about protecting you against disease and despair, right, during the pandemic. And you are, what else did it say? Protecting you from black magic, ill effects of planetary forces, offering protection from curses, and cure against disillusion, bringing blessing and abundance, empowerment. Yeah, that is really badass. I'm trying to think about which cards it would go with. Um, well, I mean, if you think about your support system and them protecting you, that would definitely go with it. The Five of Staves, right? Five of Wands, right side up. What else? Oh, all of your upright swords cards, right? So it was talking about having mental clarity and protecting you from disillusion, right? So you have these two swords cards on the right side up position here as well. Excuse me, oh my gosh. So yeah, I think I need to take a break because I'm losing my words and my own mental clarity, or whatever you want to call it. But yes, hold on one sip here. Yes, we must, on that note, take care of ourselves, right? And do all the good things for ourselves and others. So thank you guys so much, as always, for your views, for your energy, for your likes, for your shares, and for subscribing to the channel. All of them are free and it does help support the channel. So yes, if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, even though you're like, this girl can barely talk, maybe it's okay. Maybe you'll put up with me for a little bit. If you want to and you haven't subscribed yet, all you have to do is click the bell icon on the bottom right corner and just make sure that it's blue and active. I think it's still blue. And it'll just notify you when I put out new videos. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to definitely take a little break here and recharge myself, hopefully. And we will come back with, we already did Sagittarius and Capricorn at the beginning of this series of readings. So then we have Aquarius and Pisces left. So we'll see what we can do later. Otherwise, it will be tomorrow. But I want to at least come back with Aquarius. So we'll see. All right. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Happy holidays again. All right. Bye.